welcome to actually our very first review episode. So today we're going to be talking all about Final Fantasy XIV. And once again, I am joined by my amazing castmates, Rohan.
Yes. We in this talking about that Final Fantasy goodness. What's up, y'all?
Farhad.
What's God?
Daniel.
Hey guys.
And last but not least, Theo.
Evening.
Evening indeed. All right, guys. So before we actually start, we wanted to meet up and actually record this video. I sent you guys a little quick bits of what exactly this video is going to entail. So we're going to break it down once again in 4 topics. I want to know your first impressions of this game. I want to know what sold you on this game, where you currently are, how your current journey has been, and obviously the new expansions coming out, Endwalker, which was recently delayed, but it's coming out December 7th or December 3rd if you have pre-ordered it. So I want to know what your hopes and dreams are for Endwalker. Is it going to cap the story the way you actually want to? But first things first, with the show of hands, whose first Final Fantasy is this? I'm not going to be... Oh, really? Farhad, you too? Okay.
It's a surprise.
I didn't think that would be the case. Huh?
I mean, Fies always used to talk to me about like Final Fantasies and like show me some save files, but like I never actually like played it. Actually, you know what? No, I played 10.
You played 10. That's what I was thinking because I remember playing 10. Exactly. So Farhad's a liar, so he doesn't count.
I'm a liar. I'm sorry. I totally forgot.
I'd be very surprised if this was your first Final Fantasy because you're a Final Fantasy nerd.
I swear to God, this guy
he runs the guild, man. Like, damn, he's in there.
That's different. That could just be an MMO nerd. Who knows?
Yeah,
I'm an MMO nerd too.
There you go.
But you got to be into the game to actually like be in it, all that stuff, man. So like, he loves it. Farhad loves Final Fantasy, bro.
I agree. Final Fantasy 14, but like, yeah. So Daniel, this was your first Final Fantasy 14, correct?
My first Final Fantasy game, yes.
Oh, sorry, I said Final Fantasy 14. Yes, this is your first Final Fantasy game. So you know what? Let's actually start with Farhad because I think out of all 4 of us, he was the first one that started playing Final Fantasy 14, correct? So
yeah, I played back in the ARR.
All right, perfect, sir. So did you actually play the OG Final Fantasy 14?
Yes.
Wait, he means 1.0.
1.0.
Yes, very shortly, but yes.
Okay.
It was an OG.
Oh so my God.
Until the world broke.
Dude, that I suppose you also watch, or were you actually part of that actual like was that gathering of when the actual like thing ended and then 2.0 actually started, Realm Reborn started? Were you there?
I wish. No, I wasn't part of it, but I saw the videos too, and I was just like, man, I wish I was there. I really wish I was there.
You didn't have a meteor drop on your head.
That's true. I wanted a meteor to drop on my head, basically.
You know, it's kind of like it's kind of sad, but also like a surreal moment when everyone's gathered all around and just celebrating this game that is no longer going to exist at all. And on a flip of a switch, that's it. That world is just done. So that's crazy, man. But
literally ended in a fiery inferno.
Exactly, right?
But you got a wicked trailer to actually set as a send off, man. It was, dude, that trailer was freaking bomb.
So dope.
So good, so good.
Sick. Actually, you told me what sold me. That trailer kind of what sold me too, in a sense, bro.
We'll talk about that later.
You know me, I'm getting ahead of myself. That's what I do. You know what I do.
But
Asian is usually the one to start finding lines, not you.
But on that note, okay, so Final Fantasy 14 1.0. Talk to me about your experience, man.
It was really, at the time, I didn't think it was kind of grindy. Even back then, I kind of thought it was grindy. But I don't know what kind of kept me pushing forward through the game because it was so, like, okay, let's go to this quest. Hey, can you go kill those 2, like, ladybugs over there for me? It's like, what? Ladybugs? I came here to destroy demons and shit, not ladybugs.
So it was kind of slow. It was kind of slow for you.
It was really slow. And this was back when they didn't cut out the unnecessary quests. So it was like
Damn.
longer, and there was just much more like grindy shit you had to do.
So is this 1.1 or ARR?
This is AR.
Okay, what about
I played
1.1?
I played 1.1, but not that much. Like I basically just played like the beginning area, and I'm like, fuck this shit. This is
And just
boring.
dipped, right?
What
I just
level do you even get to?
Like literally level 10.
Oh wow.
It was so stiff compared to 11, dude. I don't know what it was. Like 11 seemed so much smoother than
Is-
14 or
right.
1.1. I was like, what the fuck they do?
So clearly this was not your first MMO.
No, I played WoW, Guild Wars 2 a little bit.
Guild Wars 2,
Blade
I know,
and Soul,
right? Okay.
Blade and Soul, Nine Dragons.
9 Dragons, yes.
Damn, oh man, you've been in the MMOs, yo.
Yeah.
No, I
Guild
love
Wars 2 was my
MMOs.
first MMO. Come to think of it, but damn.
I love MMOs.
Yeah.
WoW was
Okay.
especially the one where I
Yeah.
spent so much hours, and I think I started playing in Wrath of the Lich King,
Okay.
Mm.
and it was so fun.
So you played 1.0, not interested whatsoever, and then ARR when that was released, I think is 2013, right? 2013.
Yeah.
When that was released, they completely demolished the first game, redid it from scratch, and I remember seeing that trailer in E3, and it didn't look that good. It was coming out for PS3, but to me it was like okay, like because I played Final Fantasy 11 with you, and I think Theo we played a little bit, right?
At your house, I probably played your FAO a bit, but I did not get into MMOs. No.
Right. So ARR comes out, you jump right in, it's super grindy. What kept you playing?
Honestly, I think it was just like the lack of not really. I was just kind of out of WoW. I was like, I'm sick and tired of this, and I was just basically looking for like a new MMO. And I tried Guild Wars, and I played it. I got to the end level, but I kind of was just, I got bored of that too. So I was like, fuck, like, what do I even play? So then that's when AR came out after 1.1. I was like, fuck, oh my god, yes, let's play this shit. And yeah, I think it was just a lack of not, there wasn't really many games back then.
Fair enough. Daniel, what about you? This is your first MMO, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Well, I don't know if something like Club Penguin can be counted towards an MMO.
Wait,
but
Club Penguin, the book thing?
No, you don't know about Club Penguin?
No.
No, I never
I
heard
don't know if
of
it's a
it.
European thing.
Please explain.
Yes, please.
It
Elaborate.
was like an early 2000s online gaming where you're your own little penguin and you talk to other penguins or other people and you chat and do like little mini games and stuff like that. It's very like a kid's kind of thing that everyone in school would play until maybe grade 6, 7 at the latest. But apart from that, I did a little bit of, I believe it was called Dragon Quest.
Oh, I love Dragon Quest. I remember that.
Like it was the 2D version kind of thing. That was like early 2000s again. But for an actual MMO, no, this is the first
one.
Yeah.
So before I dive in what sold you, because I know what sold you on it. Theo, what about you? Any MMOs have you played before?
I remember in high school, Maple Story and Ragnarok Online was like all the fucking rage.
Maple Story, oh my god, yes.
Yep. And I utterly hated them. So yeah, I knew at that time I was not that. I was Asian, but I was not an MMO Asian.
The South Koreans had nothing on you, man, right?
Yes, exactly. I can shoot a gun to save my life in any shooting game.
Right.
Even as a machinist, I fucking miss my shots. And that shit's like auto. But
he's a stormtrooper.
He's actually a stormtrooper.
Exactly. I fit so well in the stormtrooper uniform.
Exactly, right?
But for Final Fantasy 14, it was like after years and years of hearing people say, "Oh, if you want a real Final Fantasy game, just play 14." And this was after Final Fantasy 15 basically burned itself in the fire. And the last good Final Fantasy that I liked was what? 13-2?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my hands were itching to play a console like Final Fantasy, but the MMO turned me off for a huge while. And then finally, you and Rohan and Furhat, the three people that I play games with the most, hopped into it. I was like, well, fuck. I'm doing this now.
We
And no
have to
choice.
jump in. Peer pressure
Yeah.
worked. Peer pressure worked. Go ahead.
Fully peer pressure.
Dude, actually, that was what worked in terms of like actually getting me to play Guild Wars 2 as well.
No,
Like-
I peer pressured you. I was that person. You know, there should be a PSA whenever they show it, like you don't do drugs. Everyone's all together. I'm that guy, the peer pressure guy. But
It's
yeah,
just
no, Guild
Picture
Wars.
of Fize's face.
Yeah, this is what peer pressure looks like.
Yeah,
Aerospace.
it's gorgeous.
It's always Kotel.
Oh my god, right? But
That's how it works.
But yeah, Guild Wars 2. That's so you and we started playing that. I remember I was going to Saudi Arabia, and that's how we
Yeah.
kept in touch.
Yes,
You
definitely.
tried to get me to hooked on it, but I said no, absolutely not.
Good choice, man, because I kept on playing that game like 5 years afterwards. That's his kind
So,
of time.
Mhm.
Theo stood up to the peer pressure.
He did, but then he succumbed
Good
to
for
it.
you, Theo.
It was a year, guys. It was a multi-year long effort. All right, and slowly I broke him down. And then Final Fantasy 14 hit. It's like, damn it, I have to do this now.
So, it was Shadowbringers. Shadowbringers, everyone hopped on, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
well, you get to fight Ifrit. That looks kind of cool.
Mhm.
I was like, and it was on massive sale when I got it. So,
Fair enough.
but most of all, yes, peer pressure.
So, Rohan, other than Guild Wars, any other games?
It's like MMO, like no, like literally Guild Wars and Final Fantasy 14 was my first MMOs. So technically, Final Fantasy 14 was my AR was my second MMO ever that I really played. Yeah, I played like online, like the CODs and stuff like that and whatnot. Tried StarCraft, did not do well in that.
Yes.
But in terms of what really like sold me, like I wanted to get to what was after Roman Born?
Heaven's
What
Word.
was after
Heaven's Word.
Heaven's Word? Right? Yeah. Okay. Like the constant actual, like, not say badgering, but like pushing towards like dude, just get to Heaven's Ward, just get to Heaven's Ward. Right? I remember you and Theo were actually like kept on at me at that, right? And then the patches were freaking brutal. I don't know how.
And the thing was, Ishgard was right off the map. It was
Right.
tempting you to go there the entire time. You see it, you can't get there, but you're always like, I want to be there.
it was just a day by day thing. Like I just because like I wanted to like get to where you guys were, right? So we could like really like play together and actually like go through dungeons and like have that like because like I remembered like when I was playing Guild Wars 2, I liked the camaraderie aspect of like of the MMO, right?
Mhm.
But like I never really actually got the opportunity to play with other people that I knew all that much, right? I made some friends, like some people, met some people off of Guild Wars 2, right? But like nothing like actually playing a MMO with your actual friends like this. You're actually talking to like on the phone, right? Or
I guess the closest
on the
thing
mic.
would be what? Demon Souls, Dark Souls, like the Soulsborne games, right? At that
Right,
time, yeah.
and that's not really MMO. That's still
Right.
like a separate experience,
No,
right?
no,
You're
for
just
sure.
like hopping online, like bringing the person into your world and stuff. Like actually, like going out in like an open world and actually fighting monsters again and stuff like that, and going to dungeons and fighting.
Doing the same
like,
dungeon
together.
like 3 times, so
Right,
everybody
It's-
passes.
exactly right. Going on runs and stuff like that, and grinding for stuff together with people,
I
right? Your
faced the
friends.
same boss 40 times.
It's like
Mhm.
really what really sustained me and keep on going was with you, was playing with you guys. Like legit, I don't want to say like all like soft and gooey inside, but like really it's just like playing Final Fantasy with the boys was what actually really kept me going. But also like I actually haven't been playing any Final Fantasy games up until that point either, right? And I missed actually playing Final Fantasy games, and like and it was kind of a nostalgia run in terms of that aspect too. right? And the more I got into playing with you guys, and the more content I actually was consuming of like surrounding the game, right? Especially that trailer, like Farhad, right, and stuff, right, and other kind of stuff that was happening in the game. I was like, yo, it's like, okay, no, I'm actually starting to get into this. Unfortunately, life stuff was popping up, so
it's
like
MMO,
it fell off
requires
a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
MMO
I
requires a
fell off
huge
a little bit.
commitment. It takes
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
especially when I get
dedication for
cool
sure.
shit.
So for
But
me,
those
So go ahead,
yeah,
go
but
ahead.
like those times with like actually like going to dungeons and like what was it? What's his name? What was that freaking I think what's his name? Alex? No, that giant robot,
Alexander.
Alexander. Right? Okay, that was some of my the most fun I've actually had playing Fantasy 14.
The
Was actually going
raids.
through the whole raids of Alexander with you guys. That was freaking awesome, and I do want to get back into it. Just like
Well,
we'll
good
get
time would
into
be
it again.
when Endwalker comes, there'll be a good time to jump in.
Yeah.
But for me, my first MMO actually was with Farhad, Nima, and Pompeo. It was Final Fantasy 11. We created a character. We did everything. It was PlayStation 2 for me. I think for you, Farhad, it was a computer or PS2?
PS2.
PS2. Pompeo was a computer, and also Nima was computer. And we got into it. We got to level 30, and then everybody just kind of dropped off because we were young and we did not have any income coming in. So we couldn't really afford to play for it. But after that, Guild Wars 2, and then Final Fantasy 14. But what sold me on it was Farhad's been begging me to play this game for years. For years. ARR came out. He's like, Faz, you got to jump in. It's not the same game and so forth. I'm like, nah, man, I'm not interested, blah, blah, blah. Heaven's Law comes in. He's like, bro, it's all about Dragoons. You love Dragoons. Please just jump in. I'm like, no, it's okay, man. Like, we'll see. Stormblood
He
comes
didn't
out.
sell you on Dragoons?
He didn't. He didn't.
Right? That's
All I had to say was
what
Dragoons,
like,
and he said
wait a
no.
minute, that
I
doesn't
said no.
sound right.
That was it. And
Mr.
then-
Dragoon right here, man.
Right, exactly. And then Stormblood came out and he was like, you know, bro, it's all about the war. It's great. You're going to meet this villain. His name's Xenos. He's a badass. There's samurais now. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. It's okay. And then Shadowbringers came out. And Farhad didn't even know Shadowbringers was out. So I saw the trailer. Like, reviews dropped. Everyone's like, this is the best Final Fantasy game since, like, I guess 10. 10 was the one that was universally loved. After 11 was like people that played MMOs liked 11, but regular Final Fantasy players did not
I
care.
think 10 or 9 that people universally
10 I
love.
would say people loved universally because it's the highest selling altogether. But then 13 was divisive, 12 was divisive, 13 was divisive, 14, and then obviously 15, right? But I saw the trailer, and that trailer is one of the best trailers I have ever seen in my life. The music, the way they show you how quick it is to change classes, the desperation, you're fighting these angelic beings. You're supposed to be throughout the entire series. You're a warrior of light, but no, it doesn't matter. You're also the warrior of darkness. You are light, you are darkness. And it shows
Of what you must
exactly
become the warrior of darkness.
exactly, you know, on to the end, guys. but while watching that trailer, I was like, especially Eorzea Y'shtola and stuff, the scene when Thancred is running up with Benfilia's hand, and then there's this hierarchy that you see is like Glutton sitting up there feeding it face, and this guy running up the dungeons trying to save this girl. Very what's that game, Theo, before Shadow of Colossus? Eco.
Yeah.
Very much like that, you know? Like, I was like, okay, this is kind of neat. This is kind of cool. Music, phenomenal, right? And visual art studios for, like, Square Enix, they always do a fantastic job. And then I was like, okay, that's it. As I said, music is what gets me into these games. I'm like, that's it. I'm in. I called Farhad. I'm like, no, actually, I called Rohan. And I'm like, Rohan, we got to go to this one GameStop that has a game. We got to go. He's like, sure. He went with me. We picked up that. We picked up actually the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan Funko Pop. And I asked the guy before I bought anything, I asked the guy one question. I'm like, can you switch classes without creating a brand new character? He's like, yeah, because he played the game too. I called Farhat. I was like, the new expansion's out? What? I'm like, yeah, man, I'm buying it right now. He's like, yo, I'm gonna pre-order it. I'm gonna get it right now. He's like, I'm like, yeah, so I'm in. Rohan buys it, and that was it.
We all
That-
started playing.
We all started playing, and he's like, finally, after years of begging you, you just
It
decided
works.
that it worked. It worked.
Just
The-
nag them. Just nag them, friends. Just
exactly.
do it.
Peer
But-
pressure works.
Exactly. But Daniel, what sold you on this game?
Sorry, I just want to clarify something real quick. Farhad, when did you start playing the game?
2013, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Whenever
Oh,
1.1
right,
came
Realm
out.
of One. So he started playing in 2013. You didn't start playing until Shadowbringers came out
Yeah,
in
2019.
2019.
Yeah,
It took him that many years to finally convince you to play this game.
6 years, and he didn't even convince me. I convinced
Yeah,
myself.
he just did it himself. Because I just stopped. I'm like, I'm not gonna ask
Poor
him anymore. If he
Farhad.
wants to play it, he can play it.
He tried.
That's rough.
Fred tried. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude,
The Dragoon thing was the closest. I'm not gonna lie.
I can't
The
believe it didn't
Dragoons,
work.
that was the closest. I was like, what? You can be a Dragoon?
We're all Estonian wannabes here.
Yeah.
I love how you're considering it at Stormblood too. You're like, the worst one.
Yeah, oh, 100%. The second half is so good. The first half with Hirin, I don't know, man. I don't know. What was that? But yes, sir. Please tell me. What sold you on
What
this
sold
game?
me on it? Pretty much all of you guys, because you wouldn't shut up about it.
But it made it easier, right? When you were going to play with friends, right? I have to admit
Yeah.
that was a part
Yeah.
of me getting into it as well.
Yeah.
That's what I found is pretty much a shocking, especially with, like online gaming. As I've never really liked online gaming. Like this is the only game I play is online, like multiplayer. Like all the rest of the games I play is all story based.
Hmm.
So just like it's a lot of the stuff you guys were saying and how good it was and your experiences with it, and then just the fact that it was kind of a combination of like story based gaming of it is for a lot of it is single player, and then you have multiplayer, but multiplayer can just be done with a group of friends, and the odd time where you have to grab one or two strangers, but most of the time it's just with a group of you guys.
Level up your blue mage, and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
The four blue mages. I'll show you what we can do in dungeons.
We destroy everything.
Wreck shit. So much fun. Great.
Yeah, it was all you guys pretty much. Never touched Final Fantasy before at all. I don't even think I even explored it or even looked into it in the past. It was just, it's a gaming series. Yeah, that's all I knew. That it existed. I didn't really know anything else about it.
Did you actually get the Final Fantasy VII remake yet? Were you playing that?
I have downloaded a few, 7 and another one. I don't remember. The ones that are on sale or new releases and stuff like that. But I've yet to actually.
Wait, 7
yeah.
remake I know you bought. Which other Final Fantasy
Yeah.
do you have?
I will have to go digging through my PlayStation Store library to figure that out.
Yeah,
I
7
know there's
remake
definitely
you'll
more than
like.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, 7 remake.
I'm
you'll
actually
like.
really looking forward to actually playing that though.
Yeah, on
That's it.
PS5
That's what I thought.
especially. Oh my god,
Yeah,
I don't have a
yeah,
platinum
I
yet,
agree.
just for that reason. I'm waiting. Like I'm.
I'm the only one with the platinum on that.
Oh, 100%. Imagine that too. 7's my favorite, and I don't have a platinum. You know how disrespectful
right?
it is to myself.
How dare you?
I,
Fuzz?
I look at myself in the mirror, and you know what I see? Disgust.
Disappointment.
Disgusting.
Never back down, Farhad. Never back
Never
down.
back down.
So, all right.
That's
So
fun. You know, when you think about it, most of us got into it through peer pressure.
it's true.
It works.
It works.
It started from
Yeah,
me.
like I said, it works, man. Only the good stuff.
But first impressions, guys, like first impressions are very important for this game. But in general, it's just in life. But like for the game, but for any video games itself, if it doesn't work well to sell you on it in the first 5-6 hours, because most story-based games are not that long,
Mm.
you can easily bounce off. So now, knowing that we were all playing and we know how ARR is, tell me about your first impressions of A Realm Reborn. I really want to know the disappointment and the anger. Theo, tell me.
Fucking hated it. Especially since all of you made me start as a white mage. Everything, you made me start as a white mage.
Oh
It
my
was
god, that's so
so
true.
bad. Like, I was really looking forward to the Edgewood fight as well, since it looked really good in the old trailers. But then when I got into it, I was like, that's it? That's fucking it? It was so simple. But yeah, the beginning was really bad, but obviously peer pressure pushed me through it. And it wasn't until I got to around like level 40 something, I got the prettiest spell in the game, Holy. I finally was like, okay, this gets kind of fun. And then finally I reached Heaven's Ward, and that's when I was like, Hallelujah.
Yes.
I'm here. The story gets good. And that's when I also unlocked the Gunbreaker and Dancer and a bunch of other classes, and found out, okay, you can switch classes on the fly. And well, not really on the fly, but you do, like, there's a lot of MMO prejudices that I had before that I found out Final Fantasy XIV just cleaned it away with and just streamlined the entire process of having fun. So that helped a lot with enjoying the game later on. At the beginning, oh man, it fucking sucked.
Rohan, talk to me about this.
Like what Theo said, it was it was slow. It was slow to get into, right? And the combat was like, it was very Final Fantasy, right? But like with the cooldowns, with the global cooldowns of your skills and stuff, right? So you pretty much only can do like one skill at a time, depending on like what type of skills you're using. So until you actually get various different types of skill, you're just basically waiting for your one skill, attack skill, to really like come off cooldown and stuff. But what really actually got me more into the actual gameplay was when you could actually switch classes, and I got to play. I actually finally got to use a Dark Knight. Actually, and that was actually another thing that was actually driving me towards actually Heavenwards too, was like the possibility of actually finally getting to actually use Dark Knight. I was like, okay, no, this is actually looks. I saw some stuff about Dark Knight. I was like, okay, no, this actually is kind of sick though still. So I'm like, you know what? At least let me get to Heavenwards and actually unlock Dark Knight and actually start playing that. And if it's cool, then I'll continue on. If it was actually the Dark Knight was actually a make or break kind of thing for me continuing playing. Thank goodness, like it was actually worked out. It was actually pretty fun, and then I actually got to Samurai, right? Samurai was freaking out how like fast and like the gameplay was, and like the different combos you could pull off, especially when and that's when the combat got really intricate, right? And then if you actually like make your actual attacks, like if you do your like attacks in like in a particular kind of way, you could actually like make things come off cooldowns faster and stuff like that. I was like, okay, you know what? No, the combat is way more diverse and interesting than I first actually thought, right? And so I'm like, you know what? No, the gameplay really picked up, and that actually pushed me even further to actually keep on playing.
I
right?
completely agree with this, because yes, playing a lot of Final Fantasy games and so forth, especially with active time battle and all that, it can be like you pick and choose and that's it, you're attacking and stuff. But it feels like if you're a white mage or you're any different classes, white mage, black mage, thief, like any of the main classes, right? A warrior. I don't know why I forgot warrior. But generally speaking, it feels the same thing. Like you're choosing an attack to go, and it does execute the attack, and it goes and does the attack. That's it. But the one thing I really loved about like once you hit Heaven's Ward and so forth is every class played differently. It
Yeah.
didn't.
I agree
Yeah.
with you on that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Holy Trinity. They're your healers, your attackers, and your what's it called? The tanks.
Tanks.
Right? So
but like even with tanks, like when you're playing as a Gunbreaker versus when you're playing as a Paladin, versus when you're playing as a Dark Knight, every single class felt very different. You knew, yes, you're going to be a tank, but your skill sets, how you go about it, it feels different.
yeah.
So that I have to hand it to them. They did a fantastic job coming from ARR. Yoshi P, man, this guy, he brought this game back from the dead. He really did. Farhad, first impressions, man. Let's talk about ARR.
Where do I begin? It was slow. It was really slow.
You
Especially
had it
back
worse
then.
than everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was in
I think the
the-
best one is
from the
probably
very beginning.
Daniel because he played it after the game was patched.
Yeah, I played it before the patch of the, they got rid of the quest, and also before the patch where you could just teleport to Vesper Bay. I can't teleport to Vesper Bay, so I had to always run from Horizon all the way down to fucking. Oh, you too, Fiz. You have to do it too.
Me, Daniel got to experience the quality of life change.
Yes.
Yeah, I
You
got
also got
special
flying.
tickets to send me to places.
And he got to fly in ARR areas. We
And
couldn't
yet-
fly.
Yeah, we couldn't fly at all. That was a
No, no
weird thing. Like going into like for especially after Stormblood, you unlock everything. They made it so difficult for you to unlock a flying in the last area, and then you go back to ARR to like go to Horizon to unlock certain, and you're like, nope, I gotta run or be on my mount. You know, nothing more. Long, eh?
It was long. So I was just always like, it was just always fetch quests. It was just, you have no idea how many fetch quests they got rid of the game. Like, insane. I couldn't believe what they were doing to me when I was doing it. I was like, what the fuck? What am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
The
Why do I have
Warrior
to
of
go get her a
Light.
basket? Why am I the Warrior of Light going to get this lady her laundry? Like, what am I doing with this?
the laundry was gonna save the world, bro. You
That's
didn't know.
it. The armor inside.
So I don't know. I can't. What kept me going, as I said before, was just there was no games back then.
Right.
So I kind of just kept pushing through. But I started noticing like the story was actually like picking up, like with the whole Asians and like what they're doing with the Empire and like kind of manipulating them to kind of fuck shit up. So I was kind of like really digging it. It was almost kind of like Star Wars with the whole Empire thing, because it's just like everyone, all the nations are united to stand against the Garleans. So I'm just like, Palpatine, motherfucker. They got Palpatine up in that bitch, which was Gaius. Well, not really Gaius. I guess it's, you find out later down the line, but I guess Gaius would be like Darth Maul
Yeah,
to the whole thing.
pretty much.
Spoilers.
Has anyone ever played Final Fantasy 12?
No.
No.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 12 is like a very much rip-off of a Star Wars, a Final Fantasy Star Wars game.
Yeah, you even have the Stormtrooper armors.
Yeah. So, the judges. Daniel, what about you? You had the patch. You had the quality of life. You had all of that.
I did, but I still have the same complaints.
Fair enough.
So
They didn't
true.
get rid of enough.
They did not get rid of
It was painful. Oh boy. Yeah, the first, I don't even know what level it took to
50.
finally. I mean, even now I've hit level 50 and it's still.
You're level 80 now. Yeah,
there's-
yeah.
Oh,
You're,
sorry, level 80. Yeah.
you're at the
There-
end, right?
there's- Yeah.
Okay.
I maxed out my character. Yeah. I'm still doing stupid quests like that. It's just consistent throughout the whole game.
It's not as bad
Just
as what it
if
was.
you-
Less so
legitimate
now
reasons
than it was
now.
at the beginning.
Hmm.
But I mean, I was enjoying it, and it was good to like have you guys help me and stuff like that. Like especially when it has like you go to one area and it's like you need to kill all these things to get the thing you need,
Mhm.
and it's like you're just struggling because they're all like 5 levels above you, and then you guys come swooping down from the sky and just one shot
it's
kill
fine.
everything because you guys are level 80 and it's like literally one swing, boom, everyone's dead. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go collect the thing I need now.
Big brother. I'm gonna call you pick a fight with me. I'm gonna get my cousin and my brother to beat you up. Let me call my dad as well.
And it was like the ladybugs on like the first couple of levels.
So true.
But I find it funny now because I can go to those areas and just be like, "Oh, this person's struggling." Kaboom!
The adventurer.
But yeah, I mean, it was very, very slow at the beginning, despite having the patch and being able to skip a lot of the extra side quests. I mean, you guys, I remember like talking to you guys, and you guys were amazed, like, "Oh, you didn't have to do this," or "Oh, you jumped straight to that," and it's changed a lot, I guess, when you guys first played it. But yeah, a lot of like fetch quests and kind of nonsense to deal with first before you kind of got to the meat and potatoes, kind of.
Didn't some of the characters even start like actually making fun of the fetch quests themselves?
Bancred is very vocal about this.
Like I'm just near the end of Shadowbringers, and there was one bit where it's like the storyline's been moving like really great. It's like bouncing from thing to thing to thing, and it's moving real smooth. And then you get to one area, and literally it's just the whole story grinds to a halt for at least like 30 missions. And Bancred points it out too. He's like making jokes, and it's like, freaking Alphanon is like, "Yeah, we're gonna do tasks. We're gonna help. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that."
Alphanon, man. Alphanon, man. I swear to God.
And even Bancred was like, "Oh, it's my manual labor." It's like, "Yep, here we go. Time to do some fetch quests for the next 10 levels before we finally get somewhere again." But I thought it was funny after playing through the whole game and then having that and then seeing them like kind of like point it out to you at the same time.
What
is that? What is that word called actually? When the actual thing like
shading, I think.
Like self-awareness kind of.
Yeah, what's that thing called? What's that thing called?
Oh
no, it's not oh God.
I think the term is lamp shading.
No, oh God, no! I have to freaking look.
It was something like that.
Well,
it's kind of funny. I was like, you're doing like a level 80 quest or a level 70 something quest, and it's like, yep, time to go back to your roots. You didn't become the Warrior of Light from destroying everything big. You became the Warrior of Light for helping every tiny little citizen. Now do it again.
Correction, Warrior of Darkness. But joking aside, like for me, when I started the game, I started in 2013 when it first came out on PS3. I got it. I was like, okay, you know what? Like they had that whole bundle ARR. It's free for 30 days.
One question: how long was the load times back on PS3?
Oh, dude. Oh, it was bad. So when I got it on. So I was living with Nima. So you guys remember that 32-inch Dynex TV? So imagine playing the MMO 10 feet away on a 32-inch Dynex TV, and you cannot read anything. So we created this character. We were like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna be cool. We named, what did we name him? Omega Shenron. Omega Shenron. And it's like, he needs to look evil thighs. So like, he looked so weird, man. And he was a Dragoon. But the sad part is that his name's Omega Shenron. He's like 7 feet tall, and he has that green, ugly coat that you get in the very beginning of the game that makes you look like a mage, with like a bone, like a harpoon made out of bone that you're holding, and it's not even like anything cool. Like it looked like seashells on top, but it's bone. So I remember getting to level 17, and I'm like, yo, this is dumb. I'm not doing this. Then Farhad, when he tried to tell me and all that stuff, I'm like, I'm not doing this. This is just not happening. Then the PS4 version came out. So now keep in mind, PS3 came out in 2006. So I'm trying playing it on PS3 in 2013. PS4 comes out. They do the patch and update and all that stuff. I tried it on PS4. And I was like, yeah, it kind of looks cool. It looks pretty, it looks pretty, but it's still, the text is too small. I'm not going to play it. Until I finally moved. And I gave it a shot. And I got to level 20. And I'm like, nope, done. Can't do it. And Frad's like, just get to level 30. Just get to level 30. You'll then be able to become a Dragoon. You're level 20 anyways. Just get to level 30. Like, that's not happening. Until 2019. Until 2019. When I finally jumped in, and I just kind of And you guys know me. Like I'm very driven when something's on my mind, that's it. I'm gonna focus on getting through it. And rushed through fucking 30 levels to get to that point where you fight Garuda and finally the story picks up. You know, Ultima weapon just comes in, eats some Garuda and some other people. You're like, oh shit, the story is actually getting interesting. Until then, it's like skip everything. For has opening, like skip everything unless it has voice acting.
Yeah.
But on that notes, guys, like talk to me about your current journey. Let's start with Daniel. Daniel, you're at the end, so you haven't really fought Emmett Selch. You have not fought one of the greatest villains in the series yet.
No, not yet.
And it is so hype. I love one of his, like, after the entire thing, his line that he gives it to you. So much pain. So much like, I did what I could, but this is what it is. But where exactly are you?
So I am just before the final Shadowbringers done. Literally the mission Shadowbringers.
So
So
you're
it's
at the
just
end.
before the patches and stuff later on. But yeah, pretty much right at the end. I mean, overall, I enjoyed the game. I mean, the Realm Reborn was alright. I mean, even just now, like I'm going through like, so I just had to remember all the names of the expansions because it's been so long, right? I'm going for the Realm Reborn stuff, and I like reading the description. I don't even remember some of this stuff. I remember the very beginning bit. I don't remember the Labyrinth of the Ancients. I don't remember. No,
Crystal
I
Tower.
don't remember half of this stuff. Crystal Tower was just a blur. I think I was just zooming right through the thing to get further and further in the game.
Did you do any raids?
I had maybe one.
We did. We forced him to do one or two.
Yeah,
Bahamut,
with
yeah.
you guys. Yeah.
But not the but that was not really him doing the raid. That was just him watching scenes while we were just obliterating everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, like actually, so like that's the thing. The story itself is gonna be great and stuff, but the raids, like Frad, you were absolutely right here, sir. That Alexander raid, the Omega raid, the Eden raids, those raids are amazing. So much fun because the bosses are very different. If you have knowledge of the series, you're gonna love it. Music and everything, and they've
All
done
callbacks to the old Final Fantasy stuff.
But also like the new bosses that they've added, like there's a diamond weapon, for example. Like these mega bosses that they've added that you have to know how to fight. All that stuff is a lot of fun. So you have like tons of
I
content.
haven't
that
really
you can-
touched on. Yeah, I haven't really touched on any of those.
So you have the fun bits left.
Mhm.
Yes. But Heaven's Ward, I loved. Great story, and I really enjoyed that one. And then Stormblood just ground to a halt. I was like, why am I playing this stupid game? Why am I doing these stupid missions? But that was when I took the advice of if there's no dialogue, skip. So I skipped through majority of Stormblood. I
The
think I
second
was
half,
like,
yeah.
How about the dungeons? How about the dungeons
Dungeons
themselves?
are really good. Haven't
dungeons
are
yeah,
like-
Stormblood?
That's what I found like actually like got me to the bits that like I wasn't liking in whichever actual expansion. The dungeons, like this where you got
it
most
brings
of
it
the
back.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it brings it back, right? And it's just like, and most of the time doing dungeons with you guys, right? So like
Yeah.
it really the dungeons for most of the time was what really like elevates and actually at the simultaneously saves the game as well, almost in any
Mhm.
patch. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the
Dungeons are awesome.
second half that's focused on Xenos is really, really good. Like when
Yeah,
you
that was
yeah.
pretty good. It was all the first
But-
half.
Yeah.
It was just brutal.
Mm.
The
The
second half,
dungeons
it was
became a big
brought it back a bit.
spectacle.
Yes, I agree, Theo.
But
I
also there's the really well done.
Because they
Yeah,
all
so-
they
Only
have
well done, I say, is like in terms of dungeons, they all pretty much go in a straight line, draw all the mobs, kill the boss. But the thing is, the first time you go through each dungeon, it's like shit's happening in the background. So
Yeah.
it looks really cool.
Mm.
That's
especially
the main draw.
Kugane Castle. I remember the
Oh
first
my
time I was
God.
going through Kugane Castle, and it was like, okay, because Heaven's Ward and stuff, you're very alone in this journey to like go find Hyrule and find out Nidhogg and stop this war that they keep talking about, but you don't really see it. It's very much like Dance of the Dragons from like Game of Thrones. When you've heard about it, it's like, oh, this war happened back in the day. It's like, yeah, this war happened back
the
in the day.
Blackfire Wars. Yeah.
Blackfire Wars is different than Dance of Dragons. I'm talking about like I'm talking about when they were on the dragons, like all Targaryens were fighting each other, and that is what led to the dragons no longer existing and being completely extinct.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's
Just
what
a side note here. You guys seen the trailer for that yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I want to watch it.
I just stumbled across it. I was going through Crave the other day, and there was like, here's a bunch of trailers for shows that are upcoming. I was like,
Wait, what?
I was like, I've seen like the photography stuff that they keep releasing, but I didn't know it was a trailer. I was like, I gotta watch this.
Yeah.
By the way, like and subscribe and follow us for our reactions when that stuff comes out, guys.
100%,
Beyond that.
100%. But on that note, but yeah, like it was very contained. Like it's you 3 or 4 going up there. Stormblood, it was like, yeah, you gotta get together and fight this guy because like the Empire's just going off. And then like I
remember Heavensward. The only thing that I remember about that dungeon is sickness must be purged.
Yes.
That line.
Yes. But what I liked
the
about
one thing.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, no, okay. I found like the one thing with Shadowbringers was nice was like it brought back a lot of characters from all the other expansions.
Oh yeah.
It's like it brought back all the people from Heavensward. I mean, it brought back people from Stormblood that I didn't skip and forgot all about. But you know, it was nice to kind of like because you can tell like the story's kind of wrapping up, and I'm sure they'll do the same with Endwalker as well. But like. It was all like, oh hey, you've gone through all 3 or 2.5 expansions now. Like now you get to Shadowbringers, and it's like, okay, we're gonna like wrap it up a little bit. We're gonna bring all these people in. You've helped all these people. They're gonna come help you now. I was like, okay, it's a nice, cool thing
It's
to
like kind
do.
of like full circle kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's Shadowbringers definitely feels like, I would say, I don't want to use the same series, but yes, Game of Thrones. It feels like season 4 of Game of Thrones. Like when you buy now, you know majority of the characters, what their names are and stuff, and you kind of invested in their story, and all of a sudden things are just coming together, and you're like, oh, okay, oh, we're actually going down this direction. Shit's actually happening. Find out what happened with Monfilia. She disappeared like years ago, right? But Thea, what about you? What about where's your current journey at?
Well, I mean, you guys played me a lot, so you would know that I basically, I did beat the whole game pretty much. Half of my characters are maxed out, including crafters, both combat and crafters. Half of them are maxed out. I've done every single extreme trial fights enough times to fucking know them by heart, to tank them and to win the fucking mounts. But I have not done much in boss jar. Oh, basically now I'm just fighting people on the market board over money. Not very fun, but it's it's the only thing I do now.
It's a market board life.
He's gonna be a baron, bro.
He's a retired
baron.
He's a
That's how the
retired
story ends.
He's a retired warrior of light that's into financing now.
Yep, exactly.
This is the Incredibles right here. Brad, what about you?
I think I'm in the same boat as Theo, but in the extent of I literally maxed everything on my guy. Crafters are all 80, warriors are all 80. Like every disciple of hand, disciple of combat, all of it's 80. Basically did all the story side events. I made like 6 or 7 fucking boss jaw weapons. And yeah. That's what I'm just basically just doing. I made a second character because I got bored.
But you also run the guild.
You went so far,
And I
you
run the guild.
reincarnated.
I basically made a long lost sister of my main character.
He's not joking. Both
I'm
of them
not
are
joking. They
usually
look exactly
online.
alike.
It's kind of trippy.
If they're both online, I'll double slap you.
Ryan, what about you?
Right now I'm a quarter of a way through Shadowbringers. Maybe not even a quarter. What dungeon? I haven't even got to the fairy castle yet.
Okay.
Have I?
So you're in the second area.
Uh, yeah, I believe so. It's been a while since I actually picked it up, and I was actually back online, guys. So, but like, yeah, like I have one character. I main a paladin. He's my highest level is my Dark Knight's level 72. I wouldn't know. I think I want to say 74 to 76, maybe not even that high. I started a little bit of a bard and a gunbreaker, right? Just like the minimum levels of those guys.
So which classes are you guys all mostly in? Like what do you like?
Dark Knight is my main, and I love, and Paladin, I guess, is my second. But I
so
really
tank.
enjoy Bard. I really do like Bard. I would like to actually get back into it and actually like max out my Bard, but mostly actually finish Shadowbringers, right? Because I do want to finish Shadowbringers for sure.
What about you, Theo? Like, what would you say your main character is?
Summoner.
Summoner?
Absolutely summoner.
Okay. Fred?
You already know. It's like this in every game. I'm always a paladin.
Yes, 100%. Daniel?
I've been focusing on Machinist for the last couple of expansions. That's the one I've maxed out. I haven't really touched my Pugilist in a while.
Do you want to try other characters, though? There's any other classes that you're like, oh, this would be cool to try out?
Potentially. Maybe a healer. But I think I tried tank once, and it was awful.
So Sage...
for everyone,
yeah, that's so true. So true. When you're in the lower levels, people are a lot more kinder. When you're higher levels, they do not care. Yeah, they expect you to know. They expect you to know it. For me, Dragoon, hands down, that would be my DPS. That's my main. Close second would be my Black Mage. I really, really like my Black Mage, and I guess the third would probably go to Blue Mage. You've
been digging it that much.
I'm a bit shocked how much I'm enjoying it.
I really like Red Mage too, actually.
Red Mage is really fun.
Red Mage is really fun.
I think I have Gunbreaker, Samurai, Red Mage. I think that those are all the classes that I have 8 characters.
Samurai. Oh my god.
Archer 2 Bard. Yeah, I have that too maxed out.
Gosh, I forgot about my Samurai as well.
But you tried most of them. I think the only ones you grinded out was the Dragoon and the Blue Mage.
Yeah, but no, Black Mage too, because I'm like with the
Black Mage. You bought it, didn't you?
I bought the skip. Yeah. I bought the skip. I bought the skip for the Black Mage and the Archer. Blue Mage, yes. Well, yeah, from level 1, yeah, but like that does that really count when you're kind of grinding Blue Mage? You can bring him to level 1 to 70. Like Fred, what was it like?
2 hours.
2 hours. We got it in, right?
Like
But yeah, I'm really digging. I'm surprised how much I liked Blue Mage.
It's really fun. Like you just get to use all the boss moves. Yeah, really flexible.
It feels like Dark Souls. Yeah. Like that. What I've realized, like when there's 3 Blue Mages or 4 Blue Mages going up against boss, chances are you're probably gonna die. But you're trying to survive. It's a really hard fight. You're yelling, screaming, doing all this stuff. Who's healing? Who's not? What's going on? Theo with his blowing up at the last opportune moment just to see if in case it works. It's a lot of fun. And it's actually really easy to level up too. Like even the skills and everything, because you can get the skills so quickly.
Getting them is super fun too.
The thing that we all loved about is that it doesn't feel like a grind.
Yes, it actually feels fun. Bozja, on the other hand, the resistance weapon guy. These are the ultimate weapons for Final Fantasy 14 Shadowbringers, and this is fucking ridiculous. If you're talking about grinding, oh my fucking god, I can't
believe you finished it.
I can't like I told you guys, like mindset, one thing in, it's you have to get it done. But the thing is this, once you do it, you don't have to do the grind again. So you can just do the
all of it. Some of it.
Yeah, it cuts out half of it.
But the sum of it that you can do it with Blue Mages and just have fun, or you can do it with any other class and have fun. It's so quick. So
It's just the first part is so
I-
like just getting through it the first time is so annoying.
because I didn't know. When I was going through with this, I'm like, for the anima weapons, you have to do this continuously for every single weapon. So how the fuck did you do it for that? And then I realized, I'm like, no, majority of the other stuff that you ever do, that's like the fun stuff. So I can see why you ended up creating multiple weapons, because the black mage one looks fucking amazing. So I don't know.
that
We'll
one
see.
was sick.
I'm right now
No,
taking a break from this
I
game.
went into Dalrida for one time. I was like, I am not going back into Dalrida again.
Yeah, once
Fuck
was
that dungeon.
yeah. First one.
I
Once is
can do
enough.
extreme savage diamond weapon all day, every day. But Dalrida, nope. I nope the
Yeah,
fuck out of there.
it's a very annoying dungeon. But guys, but
So-
that's
so-
so go ahead, right?
No, so you're grinding like that one particular dungeon like over and over again.
No,
like, and
no,
that's
no,
it.
no. That would be easy. Why would they do that? So there's 180 items you need. So the other stuff is easy. This 180 items you need. There's 3 different zones, right? You have to fight a lot of enemies to be able to unlock the mount going faster than the enemies. Even if you're on the mount, makes no difference. Enemies will see you, they'll kill you like that. So then in each zone, you have to fight these fates, which you can't fight by yourself. You have to fight with people that will potentially give you 1 item. If you fight other enemies that are around, that will start a mini boss fight eventually. That will give you 2 items of the same line. But you need to get 30 of each per zone. So going through it, if you have a decent party, you can knock it out within 2.5 hours. No issues. Bam, bam, bam. You're just getting it done. Things are populating and so forth. But the problem is that a lot of people are not like now. I got lucky because like every time I was like asking for groups and stuff, or I was just creating groups because I was like, I'm not doing this by myself. But if you don't have a decent group or enough people are not paying, it's such a grind. It takes such a long time. And then
And
yes,
the
you have
story is not good.
story sucks.
Oh my god.
Story sucks.
Terrible.
So you're literally doing
I
it for a
did
shiny
the
weapon.
entire thing hoping to know what happens to Mikoto, and turns out she does absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Useless.
Nothing.
She's useless. But you get a shiny weapon, man. You get the ultimate weapon. But with that said, guys, Endwalker is around the corner. All right. The story for Final Fantasy XIV, without a doubt, is one of the best stories I've seen so far. How well they've been able to just build on it, especially with Shadowbringers and everything. And I'm very invested in Heidelin. Spoiler for you, Daniel, you actually get to see Heidelin. So continue playing the game. The one that's been talking to you and everything, yo.
The mystery is revealed.
Oh wait, the crystal thing. Oh, okay.
So you get to
see,
see her.
like, you see, like, okay. Do I need to actually go and stuff and just like hit mute and y'all, and I see y'all next time? 'Cause I
No.
don't wanna, like,
We're not
spoil
gonna
anything
spoil
for you,
anything.
man.
We're not gonna spoil anything. I'm just saying that they're building up for the finale, right? And it's here. Yoshi P has gone ahead and said that there are no extra patches to finish off the expansion. When the expansion's done and the credits roll, that would be the entire story to its end. So we don't know what's going to end up happening. Chances are, my guess is it's probably going to be fine. They're going to either blow up the planet like what they did before, and just restart and call it Final Fantasy 17, because that would make sense. 11 to 14, 3 games. 14 to 17, 3 games, right? By 3, I really mean any extra games that they release in the middle, but it's technically 2 main in the line series. Actually, Final Fantasy 13 had a trilogy, so that doesn't count. Point is, 2 mainline games. So they may do that. Completely rebuild the engine. But it is about to end, so please, hopes and dreams. Theo, you go first, sir, since you are basically the evil genius who's a mastermind. I don't play MMO games, guys. South Koreans have nothing on me. I've maxed everything, and now I'm a banker. But yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Theo.
My main hope for now is Summoner. Like, if you've seen the new Summoner and how it gets fucking thick and good the job looks, and as you know, I'm a Summoner main. So I'm playing the shit out of that. I want to see just how much they changed it. Second hope is for Sage. Because of you guys, I started as a white mage, and because none of you guys have a healer, I leveled up Scholar, I leveled up Astrologist, I healed you guys for every single fucking dungeon.
I don't know if you
And
actually
now
healed them.
Sage
That's
is
a lie,
out.
Brad. You know this too.
You were damaging. You weren't healing. You were doing more damage than healing. Let's get that straight.
Fine, fair enough. But point being, you
He
guys
really
said
admits it.
you want to try healer. You guys want to try Sage. Now I won't be the only healer anymore. That's the thing that I'm happiest about.
But not the
You guys can
story.
keep yourselves alive.
Yeah, you don't want to know
Fuck
what
the
the story is.
I don't care.
You want
I
us
lose
to
that.
play
I don't have to
City?
heal anymore.
Just gameplay
This game
Yeah.
time.
and healing.
Lack of healing.
Lack of healing. Daniel, what about you?
I'm just interested to see where the story goes, really. I mean, it's been good so far. I mean, the odd portion has been a little iffy, but overall, like, you can definitely tell, like, even with the Shadowbringers, like, it's coming to a head, and a lot of the questions I have, I'm always bugging you guys about. It's like, what's this? Who is this person? What does this mean? It's all going to be revealed. And then
Is
just,
there one character specifically that you're interested in, like, to learning, like, what happens to them?
Not off the top of my head. Like, I haven't really not invested in really one or two characters. I kind of just want to know answers to all
Scions, right?
the whole thing, the Scions especially, but just in general. I'm like, I need to know who is controlling everything. Who is behind this?
The Zodiark?
Yeah, that too. But yeah, just overall, just excited to see where the story goes, and then try and maybe explore some different classes and maybe some crafting too. I haven't really done any of the job functions. I think I tried like the lever one for like a minute, but that was about it. I haven't really done any of those kind of roles, so we just to try those out, see if I can actually get good at crafting things. But yeah, just maybe doing like some of the side stuff and going for the ultimate weapons as well.
Yeah, the ultimate weapons I think with the team will be a lot more fun.
Yeah, big time.
Mm-hmm.
Brad, what about you?
Oh boy, what am I hoping for? Number one is a better way to buy stupid housing plots. Because we've been stuck at a small house for years, and I've been looking for a large house. Like, we have the money. We have more than enough money. I can buy two.
The struggles of a guild leader, bro.
There's literally, in our district, there's a one mansion, and the guy made a guild, and it's just that one motherfucker in it. No one else. And he's just planting the gardening and then just leaves. And that's it. That's all he uses that house for.
He loves his property.
He never logs in. He never does any of that. So I really hope they fix that shit. I am stalking this motherfucker. It's like something Fafnir, that piece of shit. Give me your house. So
just club and rob him.
I literally go up to his house, look at the it's like I'm driving by his house, just looking at it. And I was like, when the fuck are you gonna leave?
Then you enter without permission, right?
I even got some of the FC members to like, yo, guys, whenever I'm not online, just go check it for like a few seconds to see if they're there. And if you see
He's recruiting people to stalk this guy.
Hey, they're down, I'm down. Our number one mission is to get a bigger fucking house.
Damn.
But other than that, I really want to see what happens with the story with Heidelin and the whole Zodiark thing. It's just like, especially after Shadowbringers, you start seeing like, Ascians are doing this shit for a reason. It's 100%. Not like they're not like it's not like you don't understand like why they're doing it. It's like, oh, they're being so like villainous. Why are they doing such a thing? Once they explain it in Shadowbringers, you're kind of just like, oh, okay, I get it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I see why they're doing this shit. Yeah, I would want to destroy them too. Yeah.
Well, clearly you're already stalking one guy, so you're like, oh, I can kill him. Oh, evil side. Let me figure it out. What's happening, Mr. Burns here?
I will get that
That's how
house
we
one day.
become the warrior of darkness.
I don't
Just
know
for
if
that
it was
house.
Breaking into that guy's house and stealing it, and just claiming it as mine.
That's it. We're the warrior of darkness now. We have the right to do that.
So the story, right? That seems
Yeah.
doing it for a reason. I agree. What about you, Rohan?
Man, I just want to actually just get to end. You guys are now saying that there's like a reason why the Asians are doing what they're doing, and like of all the characters and all the like the character development and like the story branches, all the story branches in the story so far, the Asians are the thing that actually interests me the most. And from what you guys are saying is that there's a reason behind that they finally explained why they're doing what they're doing. That's the thing that actually was holding the interest of me the most. So I was like, man, that's the thing that's going to motivate me to actually get back into the game and actually like find that out. But also beyond that, to just to see the actual conclusion of how how these guys are gonna wrap up an MMO. Like essentially, that's what they're gonna do, right? So that's gonna be interesting. It's actually kind of two fronts. Well, actually, no, not exactly. The Guild Wars is not gonna wrap up, but like this, I want to see how it actually wraps up. Because what you say, like, and also like, it would just be cool just to see an actual ending to all this.
The
That's
saga,
interesting.
yeah, 100%.
And like
Yeah.
the way they wrapped up the first MMO 1.0 was fucking legendary. Let's see if they top that.
You know what's funny? I was reading a meme recently, and they're like, "How Yoshi P saved Final Fantasy 14 from Doom." So he's like, he's like, guys, I have a plan. So we're gonna blow the world up with this dragon. And then they're like in the meeting, oh dear God,
Go on.
dear God, Yoshi, do you think this will work? He's like, it'll be a really fucking big dragon. They're like, can we actually get away with this? And then at the end, it's like, yes, they did. The game's a lot better now. So maybe this time it'll be two dragons. Yeah, no, I agree. Rohan, on your note, like,
True, make us tell them did absolutely nothing in the entire story so far.
that's
It'll
true.
be an even bigger dragon.
Make it 10 times bigger.
Yeah, bigger dragon. More cowbell, guys. But anyways, Rohan, I agree with you. The Asians, like, there's a lot of stuff that you'll find out. That's why Shadowbringers, man, a lot of questions that you have, they're just like, let's just give it to them. Let's see what it is. You realize it's. I like the fact that it's not all light and dark, like evil versus good. There's a lot of gray in the middle, and you're like
that.
this is
like
making
that in
a
my
lot of
stories.
sense. So it's a very mature story altogether. But for me, I am very excited. Yes, I want to see how the game ends and so forth. I want to see the result of what ends up happening to us. Because I don't think we're fighting for the right side.
Yeah.
Like, I just get that feeling. I don't think we're fighting for the right side.
I feel like there's gonna be a big spoil, like big twist at the end.
That's
all
just how I feel. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I do want to
Be an
see.
interesting ending.
Oh, I 100%, right?
Right?
But at the same time, I hope they don't go down the Kingdom Hearts 3
Oh,
route
please don't.
where everything just happened the last 15 minutes and they're like, oh yeah, so this is a different game. Now it's a different game. And this is a new guy that you guys heard about. And we just become that we're fighting us. Because that would be like Albert and everything that, like Shadowbringers. But I really want to see. Oh, I forgot the town's name. I want to see Alphanaud and Alisaie's dad story play out.
Yeah.
Or old Charlian or whatever.
Yeah, Charlian, yes.
Charlian, yes.
Because they are they're the elves. And we know in every single fantasy world, the elves are like
OP.
they're the hierarchy. So this entire civilization that's like cut off, that's like Atlantis, that's completely cut off. They have all this wealth of knowledge, but they refuse to do anything. They know the world's gonna end, and this is in the trailer. If you watch Endwalker, Yashola goes down and she's talking to them, and they're refusing to do anything. So I really want to see how his story is gonna play out because he's very, very interesting. I hate him, but he's so good.
He's interesting, but
Yeah,
I hate him.
But I hate him because he's such a dick. But
You still like goes there. Help! We need your help.
Bad.
Not my problem, bro.
pretty much, he's like, you can come join us and we'll survive. She's like, until our last breath, we the Scions, we will fight till the bitter end. But I'm very excited, and I want to see what Xenos' game out of this is, because they can't make him like from he was a pretty one-sided OP. He's just a strong guy in in Stormblood. To like, they tried to make him a three-dimensional character, but right now he just wants to see carnage. That's it. He doesn't care about anything else. He just wants to fight you. And that's it. He got a new class, which is Reaper, which is fucking amazing. I'm so excited because Dragoon armor. I don't have to level anything up. Dragoon armor, guys. Watch, I'm gonna be kissing the floor like I'm used to with the Reaper. But I really want to see like what his end game is out of all of this, because it can't be just like there's no way he's the last boss, right?
Who knows?
It might be.
There's gotta be
last,
someone
second
bigger
round.
to fight after him.
Right? Because every single expansion, they'll show you one of the big bosses, but it's really somebody else. Like Heaven's Ward, for example, they're like Nidhogg, and it was actually the church, right? Stormblood.
that
It
guy,
wasn't
yeah.
Xenos until the very, very end. It was like Xenos becoming Bahamut mechanical version, and same thing over here. Like it Shadowbringers. Like I can't say anything, but yes.
Thank
So-
you.
So Endwalker, I'm excited to see who's gonna be the last boss. But with that said, guys, give your final rating, just as shits and giggles, like to the game so far for what you have played.
like what 10 out of like how much out of 10 or something?
Would you give it like, let's give it stars, like 5 out of
Okay.
5 stars? Like what would you guys give
Okay.
it? Theo, I'll go start with you since you are a master at this game.
Just for how well they managed to handle the entire MMO aspect and the way like they improved so much with every expansion, I'll give it 4 stars.
4 stars. Oof. Daniel, what about you?
Leaning towards a 3.5 to 4.
That's what I was gonna say.
Like, it's a good game, but it has its issues. The grinding and the fetch quests are just extremely like there's just a lot of things that are tedious, and there's no really real reason why they're
Yeah.
in. Like a lot of tedious, boring gameplay that really does nothing for the overall story. It's just kind of there.
But that's also an
I mean,
MMO.
Yeah.
That's also
Yeah.
an MMO, and
I
that's
think
also
every
been
MMO
an
has
S
that
since the
stuff.
beginning, right?
Like,
So
it's one of those things where when you think about it, for an MMO, it actually did, like, level grinding was actually pretty fast, all things considered.
That is true. It's actually like you level up quite fast. It's like you're gonna go from one person to get trousers to another person to get fancier trousers in the like first 50 levels, anyways. But totally understood. If you haven't played an MMO before, like your expectations so far.
yeah.
But I would love to come back after you beat the game and you do a couple of raids with us. I would love to come back and see what your take is.
All right.
Rohan,
You might hate it because you'll be dead on the floor just looking at us playing.
I don't think so. Rohan,
Like, I almost have a mind to actually with the with the general gameplay, like Daniel said, like the gratuitous, boring, repetitive, like kind of stuff, general MMO kind of like fetch quest kind of stuff, right? Brings it down quite a bit, right? But the dungeons and like the raids are just so good and so much fun, especially like when you get into higher levels where you get like your characters get more powerful and stuff like that. The game's so good. I'll give it a solid 4.
Mhm.
4 out of 5 stars.
What about
Yeah.
you, Brad?
Well, you know me, I've been playing it since AR, so I would definitely give it 5 out of 5 stars, but that piece of shit still has my house, so I'm giving it a 4 until I get that house. I'm looking at you, Fafnir. I'm getting the house.
Sorry, what was your rating?
Well, it's usually 5 out of 5, but since fucking Fafnir took my house, it's 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5? A whole star?
Mhm.
Wow.
Square Enix, do
Wow.
something about him. He's a
Yeah.
menace.
You know what's funny? At the beginning, we didn't even have the money for a small house.
Now we have money for
Now
2 big
we're
houses.
You gotta keep looking forward. You gotta go bigger and bigger. You know.
Go bigger or go home. In
can't
this
settle.
particular case, we can't get bigger
Never settle.
and go home.
we gotta compensate for something.
First, you get that small apartment, then you get the building.
I would say I'm down. I agree with most of you guys. I think it's a solid 4 out of 5. Heaven's Ward really saves it. Like ARR was bad. Oof.
Yeah.
I know they've done a lot of changes and so forth, but like when you look at it in the scope of like that's what MMOs were back in the day. They were a grind like this, and people did enjoy it, and they evolved the game as it goes on. So you got to give them respect for that. But I do think Endwalker is going to be a lot more modern, and it's going to overtake WoW easily. It's probably
Wow.
going to,
Wow. Oh, wow. You're putting it like up there
oh,
like
it's
that.
it's
Like,
gonna take over WoW, 100%.
well, like Asmongold had like maybe a little something to do with that, but like overall, I think that it's its own merits, like just like the steady, like gradual, like accumulation of of people playing, just because of how good it is over time. Yeah, maybe I think you get close, but I don't think you will overtake WoW. WoW is just
overtake WoW.
so
I think it
ingrained,
already
bro.
has.
I think it'll
The
overtake
thing is,
WoW,
they never
100%.
dropped the ball on any expansions.
Yes.
It just got better.
Yes.
I've played all
That's
of.
true.
I think I've played all of the new WoW expansions until I think it was the second last one that just came out. So I think with WoW, all the Xbox, Xbox, all the
Mhm.
Xbox got worse and worse and worse
Mm.
until a point where it was just like this is just unfucking playable. This is boring as shit, and this is why I see like Final Fantasy taking over WoW is that WoW has never stepped up of anything because they had no competition.
It was just living off of its name.
Yeah,
They
but
were
Right.
just like,
So-
wow, everyone wants to come play WoW. Come on, it's WoW. Like everyone's gonna buy subscription. Now it's tanking because of all the shit that's happening now.
Same thing with
And-
Blizzard, right? Like Blizzard as a company,
Yeah.
Activision as a company. Like Sony came out today and Microsoft came out today, and they're rediscussing how they're going to have relations with Activision if Bobby Corge is still part of the
Oh
team.
wow, it's getting that
So,
level.
Like
Shit.
it's getting bad. So I don't know where they would stand, but in terms of just its own merit as a game, I think WoW has probably, and guys, this is just based on what I've seen, what I've heard. There's a lot of people that play WoW. I was shocked to find out how many people actually played WoW because I was very prejudiced when it came to MMOs. I'm not gonna lie.
It's part of pop culture, man.
Yeah, exactly, 100%, right? But
Even what was it? South Park did an episode. on it.
exactly, right? But make love no Warcraft. But it's not the same. Like it
No,
feels like
no,
a
it's
dated
not.
game. It feels like a dated
Yeah.
game.
It's a
And
really dated game.
New World may have had a chance, but New World's tanking as well too because it's dealing with the same thing. Is the fetch quests? There's no actual like enticing
Wow,
story.
what's even the story like, man? Like I keep hearing about New World. I was like, but like at least WoW, like they had like certain characters, right? But like you don't even hear anything about like New World in terms of its characters or in the story or anything like that. It's just the fact that it's a big ass MMO that's released by Amazon. But like besides that, that's it. You don't
That's
actually
it.
really know anything about it.
I've also heard
100%.
that New World's end game is like when you're leveling up to get to the end game, that the end game is basically just the same shit as you leveling up. So it's just the same quest. There's nothing different.
Oh,
It's
they
like, what the
pulled.
fuck did I do?
Wow.
What was that game? That BioWare released Anthem. They pulled an Anthem.
Anthem. Oh my
Oh.
god, Anthem.
Yes.
Dude, I had hopes for Anthem because I heard that they were actually gonna relaunch it and they're gonna like do like a reimagining of the game like from the ground up. And
Anthem next
I did
got
what it,
canceled. Yeah,
Man.
Rohan, I was so excited. 100% they were going to completely redo it. Anthem next. Yeah,
and they just couldn't do it. Fuck. I was actually hoping for that. I really was.
they canned it.
Oh well.
Yeah, they're all hands on deck now for the new Mass Effect. So I am very, very excited for that. But gentlemen, with that said, thank you so much for joining me with this long-awaited Final Fantasy XIV review. I really wanted to talk about this game with all of you guys in one sitting. Daniel, we definitely have to play. We gotta turn that 3.5. Trust me, you're gonna enjoy it more once you're not doing the finish Shadowbringers. Then we'll sit down and we'll talk. But the exciting news is we will be back next week, and we will be reviewing the series Hawkeye. So stay tuned for that. Super exciting. Let's see where Phase 4 ends up taking us, because there's a lot of cameos that are supposed to be in that show. So that will be fun. But with that said, we're sending you all nothing but good vibes from your friends at Cast 5. So ciao on my end, because I'm going to go and listen to this. I've been waiting for it for the longest time, and it finally arrived today. So, my friends, take care. Ciao.
Easy, y'all.
Yeah.
Really.